Hello everyone and welcome back to Amped Software's YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be taking you through the latest release of Amped 5. In this update we're going to be bringing you one of the most demanded requests that we've had since the launch of Amped 5, and that is batch conversion within Amped 5. With this feature, you'll be able to convert multiple different types of file extensions. So if you have a folder or multiple folders of different types of video files and you want to convert them all at the same time, you'll now be able to do that. Okay, so let's jump straight into 5 and take a look at batch conversion. The first thing I want to point out is that when you drag and drop files into 5, this is not going to initiate the batch conversion if you have multiple different file extensions. When you drag and drop files into 5, you're just going to initiate convert DVR. There's going to be some hints there that you may need to batch convert, and I'm going to show you how to open batch convert. If you know you're going to need to batch convert files, so you've got multiple different file extensions, then you're going to come straight to the utilities, and in there you can see we've got batch convert DVR. This is going to bring up this window and it's going to look very familiar to you as our normal conversion does. So you can see we've got our main tab here, we've got the tabs that you'll be familiar with from Convert DVR, such as copy, stream, transcode, audio, advanced. So you'll be familiar with all of these. Let's focus on the main tab to start with. Then this is where you're going to bring in all your source material. So I've set up my source material folder here. You can see I've got 3 different folders within here. And in each of these folders, you've got different files, some MP4s, some DV4s in this one. In here, we've got even Hikvision files, we've got milestone files, and then we've got some other proprietary files in these folders. So you can see we've got quite a lot of different file types here. And all I'm going to do is drag and drop these 3 folders straight into my batch convert DVR window. And you'll see that we now get a summary of all the files that I've dragged in there. So you can see that we've got the different folders. We can collapse these folders if we want to focus on a certain folder. You can untick different folders. So maybe you've got a master folder and you know one of the folders in there is maybe just reports and you're not going to convert them. So you're just going to untick that folder, for example. You can see here within these folders, I've got a real mix of different files. Some of the files here are things like text files. So we know that these aren't going to be converted, but what I'm doing is, for this example, I'm just going to leave all this mess of different files in here because we've worked really hard to make this as robust as possible for you, so that it is going to be as simple as opening it up and dragging everything you've got that you need to convert into it. And anything that can't be converted, it will spit out within the messages and tell you that it can't be converted. And then from there, if there's certain files that, for example, on here in my extensions of excluded extensions, I've got sort of text files. So those text files are just going to be excluded from my conversion. And any files that you identify that shouldn't be converted in the future, you'll see that you'll be able to add those to this excluded extensions from this messages tab. So all I'm going to do now is just run this conversion. So I'm just going to show you how to quickly set this up. So the first thing is setting up an output folder. So I'm just going to quickly do that now. I've now got my output folder. So the next thing I'd like to set up in this main tab is the output folder structure. So you can see we've got different options here, whether we want to mirror the input folder structure into the output folder, or we want to put all the converted files into a single folder. In this case, I've got a very complex folder structure from all the different folders within folders, so I'm going to completely mirror that in my output and just keep them organized that way. You see we've got path levels to put onto the converted file name. So if you want the actual path name added to it, you can. And then, as we're familiar, you've got the conversion type. So whether we're going to copy stream if possible, or transcode, or just transcode everything, or copy stream everything. For now, I'll leave it at copy stream. You'll be familiar with the copy stream tab, where you can just choose your output container. Then the transcode one, similar, but you choose the container. So again, MKV, and let's say we choose H.264 as a codec. We can skip over the audio and the advanced, and we're now ready to go with the conversion. So I'm going to start that now just by clicking the OK. Once I do that, you'll now get this updating filters, and you'll get an idea of how many files you've actually got there to be converged. So you can see that we've got 59 files. So I'm now just going to skip ahead the video so that you don't have to wait for 59 files to be converted, and then we'll go through what the output is. Okay, so the conversion's now finished, and you'll see that we get two windows open. The first is your file explorer from Windows, which is showing you the output files, and the second is going to be the Batch Convert DVR. It's going to reopen, but on the Messages tab. So first, let's just take a look at the file explorer. You'll remember that we set the folder structure to be completely copied over to the output. So if we take a look at folder 2, for example, if you remember, we had lots of different folders within there, and you can see that they've completely copied over. And if you jump into one of these, you'll see that the converted files now exist in there. So you can see we've got these files converted along with the logs for each of the conversion that happened. The other window then, the Batch Convert DVR, you can see it's opened up on the Messages. And in this Messages tab, it's basically going to tell you all the different files that were not converted. And there'll be different reasons why they weren't converted. Whether it was because it wasn't a video file to start with, maybe it was an extension that was on your excluded list, such as here you can see I've got some text files and AMP5 project files, and you can see they've been excluded because I've told the conversion to exclude these because they're not video files. So at the start of this conversion, I just put in a bunch of random different files, some of them being video and some of them not. And here you can see that all those that weren't video haven't been converted, and the Batch Convert DVR is telling me that they've not been converted. You may go through the conversion with only video files, and maybe some of them video files didn't get converted. Again, you would get that shown here, and that's when you would then have to investigate further why that video file didn't convert. You see we've placed the advanced file info here to allow you to quickly jump into a file that hasn't converted and sort of investigate why that might be the case. The other buttons we've got here then is the save log. So I could save a log of all the files that didn't get converted. And you also see that we've got that exclude extension here. So if I want to exclude .time files, for example, I can click exclude extension. And if I go to my my extensions tab now, and you can see here, I've got the .time file that I just added, as well as the text and the AMP5 project files excluded. All this means is that if they're detected during the conversion, they're just going to get skipped, which is rightly so. And it's just going to speed up your conversion if you do end up with a big mix of different types of files. Okay, so that is an introduction to the Batch Convert DVR. If you do have any questions about it, make sure you reach out to us, and also make sure to check out the blog post, which is going to go over the update as well. And in there, you'll see some more information about some of the smaller updates that we've done in this release.